The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Oh, I gotta put my microphone on. Is my microphone working? We're just waiting for a couple people to pop on. Going live. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow. Okay, this is messy. All right, hey guys, I just wanted to pop on here for a little while. I'm working on these New Year's nails. I wanted to show y'all how pretty they are. Silver and gold. And right here, we're putting some rhinestones on this last nail here. And I could show you on this nail. So what I'm going to be doing is everything in my shop is 30% off with the promo code HOODAT. Christmas nails. I had somebody ask about Christmas nails. They will not be able to be mailed in time, but if you have a pair of Christmas nails that you really want, you can just message me here on Facebook or text me if you have my number, 985-210-2290. Give me a text and I can totally get those nails to you before Christmas. And we don't have to worry about shipping or anything like that because shipping is so expensive. So are stamps. I did this really cool thing this year. Those are done. I'm in this group on Facebook called Recipes with Friends, and it's where a bunch of people put together their recipes, what they're cooking for supper, and they decided to do Christmas cards. So what everybody did was they took one of their favorite recipes and put it in a Christmas card, and we sent them to everybody. And I've never done Christmas cards as an adult, and it's so nice to go check your mail and get something besides bills. It's really, really nice. So that's just a tradition I'd like to keep doing. These are really tiny, but I just wanted to show y'all some New Year's nails. I'm also going to make these, every pair of nails I make, I like to make them in a long and a short because I can't function in really long nails like this. Some people love long nails. I can't work in them. I'll wear them to go out. But as far as day-to-day use, I'm a short nail girl or a medium length girl. And another question I get asked a lot is, how do you put these nails on? I was going to do a tutorial. I've been looking high and low, trying to find the right glue, the right lamp, and I think I finally found it. So I'm going to go ahead one day and do a little demo of how I make these stick, what I use, and I get all my stuff off of Amazon. It's pretty affordable. My big lamp that I use for everything might have been $30. My UV lamp, and then I have two smaller UV lamps that I use to put my nails on because it's hard to hold the nail in this giant lamp. It needs to be open. So, and then I found the best glue. The only thing I haven't tried was plain old nail glue that you just buy at Walmart and just stick these bad boys on. I'm sure that would work. But if you guys have ever used press-on nails, you know it's kind of like a couple nights only thing. These things aren't going to last you for a month. It's not like going to get your nails done at the salon, but it's also not $100. So that's where these things really come into play. You want your nails to look pretty, but you don't have the $80 to go and get your nails done. But you could still have pretty nails. That's actually how I started doing this. Me and my daughter would go get our nails done, and then the world just got so expensive, it's hard to afford groceries. So I bought us a couple things to do our nails for some event we were going to. And then somebody saw them and was like, hey, why don't you sell those? And people always say that. And you're like, I don't want to sell. Because I did this before. I did it with, when my daughter was little, with clothes. I would make clothes and try to sell that. I did it with my pottery. Just trying to start these little businesses. But I was like, okay. So I started to buy stuff on Amazon and made a little Etsy store, and it started to catch on. And people started buying off of Etsy, and the rest is history. And I really enjoy this. It's really relaxing for me. I found that when I start getting irritated, I just walk away. I can always finish them later. And I don't know how many times I've started a pair of nails and just said, nope, don't like them. I go on Pinterest to get ideas, but I never copy the nails. All right, so we have these pretty rhinestones. We want to make sure they're all straight before we set them. Last time we were talking about mental health, and I never really got to phase 2 of mental health, which was my second trip to the hospital. All right, so we're gonna set those. Now, I have this. We have them in silver and gold. They're chains that are made for nails. So we're gonna put these, we put them on this nail. Now we're gonna put them on our last nail, our pinky here. We're gonna do an accent nail. So I'm gonna start with my gold. And I think for this one, we're gonna go across instead of going up and down. So yeah, we have our New Year's nails. I'm gonna start making a few pairs of New Year's nails. I think I'm gonna go sideways with these. So this is just rhinestone glue. It's really good. Hey, Nene. And I'm also about to start doing some Valentine's nails. As soon as I see stuff pop up in the store, I start doing it with my nails. I'm a last minute person, but most people aren't. So I just decided to go by whatever's going on in the rest of the world. So the rest of the world starts putting out Valentine's Day, I'll start to use Valentine's Day. So, but like I said, these are New Year's nails. And right now we're finishing them up, putting some chains on. And what I'm gonna do is set this in my lamp here. And whatever we do to one side, we have to do the other. So I'm in the hospital for the second time. This was last year. And this time I'm at a real hospital. Not a mental hospital, but an actual hospital where they have a psych ward. So I go to my psych ward, and we have, again, our cast of characters. We have a young girl there who's been there for 2 months with lymphedema. Really bad lymphedema. She was a skinny girl too. I'd never seen that on a skinny person before. We had the guy who was, let's say, SA. He was SAing girls on the floor, and we'd have to rat him out because he was doing really gross things when people weren't paying attention. We had the guy who has been living there for at least a year, and he would scratch himself so bad that they would put these what looked like boxer's mitts on his hands and tape them really good so he couldn't scratch himself. And I think they said he'd been living there for about 2 years, which is really, really messed up. I felt really bad for him, but I mean, what are you gonna do? So the craziest thing that happened was about the 4th day I was in the hospital. It was nighttime, and we decided we wanted to play cards. Me and my new friend that I met, the one with the lymphedema, and this guy who's about my age was sitting in the room by himself, and we're like, hey, do you want to play cards with us? And he was like, sure. So we all played cards together. Well, the next day at breakfast, he wasn't there. So I asked my friend, what's going on? And she said, oh, you missed it. And I totally missed it. So the cops had come in early that morning to arrest him. He allegedly, everybody's innocent till proven guilty, had SA'd a little kid, and he was pretending to be crazy to try to get away with it. So when the cops came, he started pretending like whatever he thinks a crazy person is. We're all in there legit crazy. He's pretending to be crazy, and that's not what crazy looks like. He's doing crazy on TV, whatever he saw on TV. So the cops took him anyway, because they were like, no, sir, we know you're actually crazy. We know you're fine. You're not actually crazy. But I just felt really grossed out. I was just like, I played cards with that guy. Why didn't they tell us anything? I felt really disturbed. They should have told us something or put him somewhere else. Like I said, you're innocent till proven guilty, but I don't know. It's just kind of yucky. So I left there, and they were like, do you want to go to counseling? And I was like, of course I want to go to counseling. So they sent me over to this place, and it was an inpatient program, outpatient program for 5 or 6 months. And it was in town. So every morning for 9 o'clock, I had to be there. It was either 9 or 10. And I drive myself out there. And I'd never been to group therapy before. But a lot of the people there, everybody was really nice. A lot of the people there had been there before. This was like their second, third, fourth time being there. And I was like, great, this place must not be working. Water break. This place is working so well. Why are people coming back 3-4 times? But then I learned why. These people don't do what they're supposed to do. They don't take their medicine. They don't show up to therapy. And it only works if you work it. I know you've heard that before. So I show up to my thing, and the first thing they ask us is, I keep forgetting to put it on TV. The first thing they ask is everybody goes around and tells how your day is. So I don't know if you've ever been in a room with a bunch of people going through severe depression and anxiety who just had breakdowns, but none of us are having a great day. So there were always stories about why people were having a bad day, and I came to find out what was going on with people, and it was crazy. It was all people from all different walks of life. Rich people, poor people, doctors, lawyers. There was a doctor there who worked at the VA hospital who just snapped. I don't know what the deal was, but she couldn't take it anymore. She wound up an inpatient. There was a lady there who was obsessed with death, and she had a sex addiction. This guy would bring her hamburgers for sexual favors. I'm not kidding. That's real. There was a girl with personality disorder, bipolar disorder, which if you ever met somebody with personality disorder, they come off very, they're not who they come off to be. They come off very nice, and they always want to make plans and do this stuff, but they never follow through. I don't want to say never, but we'd always make plans to go to the movies. And that's another thing. They didn't want us hanging out with each other outside of therapy because that could affect your treatment. But a lot of people didn't listen, and they would hang out outside of therapy. I was guilty of it. I became friends with this young girl who had actually lost her friend. Who lost her friend. Her best friend, and that's why she was in there. She was dealing with a very mentally abusive mom. A lot of people had mom-dad issues, and that just made me want to be a better parent because you don't realize how much you're messing with your kids until you go into a group therapy setting and everybody starts talking about it all started when my parents did this or my parents did that. But her mom was awful to her. She said awful things. So we went out to lunch a few times. She was a sweet girl. Um, we had a lawyer who had been in a car accident. I'm trying to get this last one on. My hands are sticky. A lawyer that had been in a car accident and lost custody of her kids. The husband took custody, and she could only see her kids with supervision. She had a brain injury, and she would cry every session. Every session somebody would cry. I cried, but she would cry every session. And then there were 3 rooms there that I remember. There was our room, which was just regular depression and anxiety. There were the older people who were dealing with grief, loss of a spouse, parent, but they were mostly older people who were dealing with loss of a spouse. And then there were the drug addicts. Every now and then the drug addicts would come over to us because that room was so filled up. And every time I go to the I've been twice, and every time I go, the drug rehabilitation places are absolutely full. So full that the overflow goes into the regular anxiety and depression place. There's just not enough places for people to go. And I know there's a lawsuit out there right now. Parents are suing. I don't know if they're suing the state or if they're suing Medicaid, but Medicaid was denying children to get mental health, and these kids were unaliving themselves, which is horrible. They couldn't get them therapy, and I know how they feel because we had a really hard time. Regular psychiatrists won't see a child, just your everyday psychiatrist. So you have to find a child psychiatrist. And I have a friend who's a psychiatrist in another state, and she actually gave me some names of some people, and there were maybe 3 doctors in all of New Orleans that saw children, and then you have to get in with them. They don't take your insurance, so then you wind up having to pay for it. I'm gonna put another coat. Oops. I'm gonna put another coat on here real quick because it got kind of messy when I was touching it. And we don't want messy. We want pretty. There we go. I love this color. B147. It's a brand I never used before, but it's really pretty. Okay, so we're in therapy. We're doing our thing, and there's always that one person. This person came in. She's a big girl, and she's always unhappy. But she's not regular unhappy. She's angry unhappy. Always angry. And I don't know if she was on the spectrum. I think she probably had at least Asperger's because she just didn't have any social cues. She would yell at people. Every couple of days she would come in and say, I've decided to change my name. Then she would decide to change her name back, and we couldn't keep up with it. And if you got her name wrong, she'd have a big fit, how disrespectful you are, and things like that. And I was just like, girl, we're not trying to be disrespectful. We're all medicated and we're all going through some stuff. We can't remember how many names you got. So the one thing we would do there that I learned really well is confrontation. I'm terrible with confrontation, always have been. Don't like it, would rather ignore the problem. Grew up in a house where we scream and yell, and then we just get over it. There we go, that came up pretty. We'd scream and yell, and then we get over it. And I learned in therapy that there is a actual healthy way to deal with problems and deal with people. So a lot of times a fight would start in there. Somebody would say something to piss somebody else off, and somebody would storm out, and I always felt obligated to go running after them and say, no, hey, especially the new people who didn't know, come back, we're going to talk this out like grown-ups. And we'd talk it out like grown-ups. And that's one of the biggest things I got from group therapy, is learning how to work things out as grown-ups. Talk about your problems. Don't keep everything inside. That's a big thing when it comes to mental health. People are embarrassed. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it with their family. They don't want to talk about it with friends. And that stuff builds up. So, crazy girl, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe her, but there's always one. Whenever we'd start talking, we were all talking about one thing, and it's like she wasn't paying attention. Well, what's the point of using gloves if I'm just busting through them? I don't know if she just wasn't paying attention or what was going on, because she was never on topic. She would always bust in and say something that was just completely off, and it started to get aggravating. Everybody would roll their eyes behind her back, and finally I had to say something because it was ruining my therapy, and I looked forward to that stuff, And so finally I was like, look, you need to get your stuff together. We're all grown-ups here. You need to stop talking about your problems like that. Nobody wants to hear it. She storms out the room. Nobody likes me, this and that. And I was just like, wow. She lived with her mom. She was in her 20s. And this girl acted like she was 12 years old. I don't get those people who just won't let their kids grow up or don't want their kids to grow up. I want my kids to be self-sufficient. I want them to be grown up. I want them to be able to function without me. And when you're in your 20s, you're already in group therapy, and you can't even get along with your peers in group therapy, there's something else that needs to be done. You have 12 people in there, and every day there's a problem. You have to start realizing maybe you're the problem. She never did. It was time for me to leave, and a lot of people would get extensions to let themselves stay, and I really wanted to stay. I didn't feel like I was ready to leave yet, but my therapist said, you're ready. It's time to go back to the real world. So I did. And that was about 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this January. And like I said, the policeman who came over to my house, I always wanted to find him and give him a big hug, because he was so wonderful. Don't like cops, never liked cops, but I just had the best experience with this cop. And I just wish I could tell his superiors about that. Like, give this guy a raise. He's doing when you're dealing with the public, I don't understand that. People who deal with the public but just don't like people. You find it in stores. You find it all over the place. People who are supposed to work with people, especially doctors, they're the worst. Like, I get it. You're a doctor. You went to med school. You're smart. You're going to cure me. But part of your job is to communicate with people. And if I have a doctor who can't communicate with me, I'm going to find a new doctor. That's why I travel all over the world. We didn't have insurance. We got married in college. And we both got dropped off of our insurance. And this was before the new Healthcare Act was passed. And we couldn't get any insurance. Me being fat was a pre-existing condition. So I couldn't even pay for insurance if I wanted to. All right, we're putting the gems on. I keep forgetting to go into the light. Being fat was a pre-existing condition, so no insurance for me. So went for a really long time with no insurance, without seeing a doctor. And so now that I do have insurance, I appreciate a good doctor, and I will drive as far as I need to see a doctor. My weight loss doctor is in Franklin, Louisiana. My knee doctor is in Baton Rouge. My pain management doctor is in Baton Rouge. My general practitioner is in Metairie. I'll drive if I have to. Franklin's like 2 hours away. But you find a good doctor, man, you got to keep them. Oh, here, this is what I wanted to show y'all. Look, you have to check the side because it's not painted right there. And we're going to throw some paint up on that. So like I said, I've had 2 stints in the ER, in the psych ward. Made some friends. I even keep in touch with some of the people that I met in group therapy. I'm gonna fix these. I'm not a fan of these. See, and I'll throw them out if I don't like them. These pinkies, we'll do it again. I think I'm gonna go with a chrome to finish these out. I was trying to think of other topics to talk about. Oh goodness, my dog's screaming. What's wrong with you? Huh? What's wrong with you? You want to see something really cute? Best friends. Hey, who's your best friend? Is it you? That's your best friend? You love that puppy? Okay. All right. So Whiny here is going. I'll put y'all back up here. All right. So we're almost finished these. I hated the pinkies. Sometimes I'll hate all the nails and throw them out. But this time we just hate the pinky. So we'll do the pinky over again. I'll show you what I do. This is good. I usually do this off camera before I start. Oh, I gotta pick up all these gems. These gems get everywhere. Speaking of gems, my daughter, kid number 2, bought these gems to put on her teeth. So that's a thing now. Jewelry on your teeth. And she sets them with a UV light. And I told her, I said, you know, whatever glue you're using to glue those rhinestones to your teeth, that is definitely not healthy. And she was like, I know. But she didn't care. Okay, let's pick out a new pinky. So I have my nails here. We have these. Soak Off Full Coverage Long Coffin. And we're going to grab a pinky nail. 2 pinky nails. And when people ask me about sizing, you know, it all depends. I size the basic size on these are going to be my size, my nail size. I use myself to measure the nails. But if anybody ever wanted a pair of customs, they could either come over and I can custom fit you for free. We could save your information and then I'll have it for the next time you want nails. It's a number system. Or I can mail you a set of whatever ones you like and then you can try them on and let me know which ones work for you. Let's do something fun with this pinky nail. I want to show you guys this blooming gel. So we'll start with a base color of, let's see, what do we have here? Why are you squeaking, dog? Okay, here we go. We'll start with this base color. It's just like a nude off-white. And then we're going to use this blooming gel. It'll kind of give a firework effect. Make sure you get the sides. This used to be all in one. It was all connected. But I bought this one where I can do one set at a time. So much better. And like I said, I get all my products at Amazon. And if you ever have any questions about the nail polishes, if you ever want to do this yourself, I've tried pretty much all the brands. And I have favorite brands. I have brands I'll never buy again. And it's not always the expensive brand. It's not what you think. Oh, we have a... See when we get these in there? It's a piece of lint. And you just kind of brush that out. Alright. And we're going to set that under the lamp. Oh. Something else I can show y'all. This is how we stick them. We take this off. I'm kind of spoiled for these now. I used to use this long tape I had to cut. Now I have these little stickums where I just put them on. I take the stickum, put it in the middle, press it down, unfold it, push the sides, and then we stick our nail on. All right. Let me go let this dog out my room. Come on, dog. Come on. Go ahead. You too, cat? Go ahead. Alright. Sorry about that. My dog's needy like a baby. It's like having a kid, a little kid. Alright, what do we do with this nail? Let's see. We've got 2 glitter nails, 1 chrome nail, 1 with this on it. And then we'll do this. Hey, Dad. I'll show y'all the Bloomin' Gel. If it doesn't work out, we can do another thing. But what colors do you think would go with this? We've got some... Ooh, we got a pretty sparkly red. That would be pretty. But then we need to change one of the nails to red. So I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to redo the middle finger too. We'll save these as an option. But I really like this red and want to get it in the mix for New Year's. So we're going to size these. And when you're sizing nails, you always want to go with the ones you think are a little bit small. Because an oversized nail is not a good look. Always go with the smaller size. That's like the opposite of clothes. Go with what you think is too small. I missed a spot on here. So, and I do this a lot. It's trial and error. If I just look at a set and I'm not a fan, we'll just take that nail off and we'll start again. And I'll get different ideas as I'm going through, and I'll jot them down, or I'll take pictures of them and do them later. Okay, so this middle nail, we want to do something with the red. And then I want to do something with Bloomin' Gel. So maybe we can bloom both of these. Let's check this red out. Oh, this is pretty. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So I know a lot of people were asking me about how do you start a small business like this, and really what you have to do is just grind, man. Etsy, it's like a drop in the bucket. I'm doing this, but so are 1,000 other people, and you kind of have to make yourself stand out. On Etsy, you can pay for commercials, you can pay for your stuff to be promoted on different websites. And I would definitely recommend, if you are starting on Etsy, not from the beginning, because it's going to take 2 or 3 months for your stuff to even be seen. But once you kind of get into the groove after a few months, definitely start paying to have your stuff advertised, because the algorithm will move your stuff up further than everybody else's. So if somebody was to search New Year's nails, my nails are more likely to pop up than somebody who's not advertising. They also will advertise for me on other websites like Pinterest. So I've seen my nails on Pinterest where people are looking for ideas, and instead of getting an idea, they'll show my nails, and when you click on the link, it'll bring you to my Etsy store. Another thing that you do that's really important is to get people to wear your stuff and advertise when they're wearing it. When somebody wears your nails, make sure that they do something in the comments on Etsy. Service was great. The nails were pretty. A lot of people won't buy if you don't have any comments or any reviews. So the more reviews, the better. Even when people buy through me, I'm going to do something different for Christmas because they won't be able to be in time if you buy for Christmas now. But normally, even if it's somebody from around here, oh no, I dropped it. I've asked them to go through my Etsy page so I can get my reviews. It's really important for your reviews to get on here. Okay, so now we have our red nails in the middle. Those are pretty. Now I'm going to show you this gel. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of the red. Where'd our red go? We have the same color, but we have it in non-sparkly. So we're going to go ahead and put that on our palette here. Pretty. All right. And then I want to get a gold color. I have this gold. Let's see if this will work. No, that's more like Old Saints gold. I've never tried Bloom & Gel with actual glitter, so we can try that. Let's try it with the glitter and the regular. Let's see how that works out. We'll take our regular polish and our glitter polish. Put them next to each other on our little thing here. And I'll show y'all how the Bloom & Gel works. Okay, so this is Bloom & Gel. They have different brands. This is the one I'm using. And what you do is you paint it. However, if you want it to spread a lot, you use a lot. If you want it to spread a little, use a little. I'm going to go kind of liberal with mine. I want it to hide all of this tan color. So I'm going pretty liberal. And then you have to go kind of fast once you start, or it'll be really uneven. So we're going to start with our glitter color. And we're going to take this. This is our dotting tool. We're going to dip into our glitter. And then we're going to go down the line. 1, 2, 3. Make sure they're the same size. 4, 5. Okay. And now we're going to go on the sides with this regular color. And then we're going to do a few dots on the sides. And you want to press your brush into the Bloom & Gel. So it'll do its thing. I wish I had a time lapse. I could do the time lapse. Oh, we got something in there. Bubble. Pop the bubbles. Okay. So if we watch it, it's going to start doing its thing. Where's our other nail? And we're going to repeat the same thing on here. So as far as mental health goes, I've been doing pretty well. I still have my anxiety really bad, but my doctor got my medications right, finally. Knock on wood. But these things, they'll work for a little while and then they'll just stop working, and you just have to change up your medicine. It's just how the game goes. If you or your kids are ever going through depression, don't be afraid to talk about it. It's like breaking your leg, you know? It's an illness, it's an injury. See how pretty that is? It's starting to bloom. I do this pretty alligator effect. Oh, look, we got it on our things here. So we're going to take a little acetone, and then we're going to take this nail, and we'll just rub that off. There we go. All right, when your bloom is how you want it, which this is good for me, I'm going to stick it under my lamp. Now we'll do it with this one. Same thing. Like I said, we want to repeat each side evenly. And make sure we're pressing that nail polish into that nail. And we're coming in with our other red on the side, just giving a little bit. It doesn't matter if it's a little messy because it'll just all bloom together. All right. Now once this blooms and sets, we're gonna do a pretty gold over the top. I got one more gold here. We're gonna put that on our palette. We're gonna add another coat of blooming gel. Oh no, that wasn't set. That's easy fix. We just wipe it off with acetone. I'm getting better about having this camera in my way, but I'm still not good at getting the shot while I'm trying to paint. All right, so now we'll go back on here with the blooming gel. And we lost our, there we go. I'm gonna do the same thing we did before, where we press it in. Press, press. If you hold the nail down, the bloom will go down. If you hold it sideways, the bloom will go sideways. I just want it to kind of spread evenly, so I'm just gonna let it sit here. And put our red in here. And we're doing a matte red, well, not glitter red on the side. Same color, just without glitter. All right, now we're gonna stick that in there. Okay, here's the one we did with the blooming gel, looking really pretty. We're gonna do one more coat of blooming gel. I'm live.
Oh. Hey, Facebook.
Hey, kid number 1. All right, so we're gonna come in with our blooming gel, and we're gonna take this pretty gold, and we're gonna go in between where we went last time. Push it down. And go on the sides in between. We're trying to cover up as much as that base as we can. Because we want color. Again, running a Christmas sale. The sale is Hudat. Capital Hudat. I don't like the blooming gel. All right, so there we go. We got our New Year's nails ready to go. I'm going to be starting Valentine's nails sometime this week, and we'll have another topic to cover. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and thank you for letting me do this, guys. I really appreciate it. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to go live and do my nails, so I appreciate each and every one of you. Hand hearts. Hand hearts. I'll see you guys tomorrow at lunch. We're going live tomorrow at lunch for everybody. So I'll see y'all on your lunch breaks. Have a great night. Love you guys. Bye.